So, Mom, what has it meant to you? What would you like to share with the people who helped us come down to help you? What is there something in your heart that you would like to tell them?
Well, to begin with, I would just want to express that there are no words that would fully express my thankfulness to all those who provided the finances and other things, and the prayer warriors who brought you here safely and made it possible for you to be here. When we were planning your coming down here, there was no way that I could know what God's plan was. And as we planned in that, I thought, yeah, it's going to be so great to have Dana and the family here, and she's going to help me get a little bit of relief because I was so exhausted. And but God had different plans, because in those first days that you were here, families and the family and friends ganged up on me and convinced me it was time for Dad to go into a nursing home, and I really could no longer care for him. And that convincing in itself was hard. But then when we began the process of finding a nursing home, and it was just overwhelming. I don't know how people do it without somebody walking with them through it, just trying to do it on their own. At least in a city like Atlanta, we had that one setback that day when we had been told no, that Dad had been rejected. And you and I did this tag team thing all afternoon. I'd find a home and you'd call them and talk to them while I was finding another home. And there were no openings. And then with the struggle, and then we got the call back late that afternoon that said he had been approved, and that they would take him. But then it's taken, what, a week and a half?
Two and a half.
Well, a week and a half since that.
Oh,
to
right.
get him into the home, and no communication or that, and you were with me through every step of that way, and encouraging me, and sometimes kicking me to move ahead. Anyone who knows Dana should get a laugh out of that, because you understand. But it was just, it's just been amazing having you here. I think that if you guys hadn't come, I would have crashed by now. Mm-hmm. In fact, the social worker, the hospice social worker, said to me when she, because she suggested putting Dad in the hospice house rather, since we weren't able to get him into the nursing home. She said, let's take him, put him in the hospice house. You have 5 days there free, 5 nights free, and let's do that, because she said, if we don't, I'm going to be putting two of you into a nursing home. And that was amazing, and I just, and so they came and they took him to the hospice house, and it's been an amazing time. So I just thank everybody, because I can't imagine going through this alone.
It was neat too, because when we were getting ready to come, and you had just put Dad on hospice, and just to encourage those who had been saying, you need to go now, you need to go now. And you probably were wondering why I didn't go right then, but God had spoken to me and said, you need to listen to me and what I've told you, and the timing that I've told you. There is a reason, there is a specific timing. And I didn't know exactly what that meant, but now I know. If we had gone earlier, we would have had to leave earlier. And this was down to the wire when Dad got into the nursing home. This was literally today, and we leave in a day and a half from now. So just to encourage those who were unsure, maybe not sure why we had to wait, God's timing was like, it was just, everything was down to the minute minute, like everything. Like I just am blown away by his timing. Like, because this was, I mean, a day and a half, like that's not, like that's hardly anything. And God wanted us to be here to help you walk through that. Thankful for Eric last night who came and helped you walk through that paperwork, because I don't think I could have done that very well. And
Yeah,
so
God timed his calling me just
Yeah.
at the time when we were going through
he's
that.
really looked after you guys, and even though through this difficult journey, he's really brought people, even your pastor Pete, who went and saw Dad yesterday when we weren't able to get there because of having to do this paperwork. And so there was somebody that at least connected with him at the hospice place yesterday so that he wasn't alone for 2 days. And so it's
Brittany that allowed us to dump
the chair.
the chair on her front lawn.
Yes. And then your other friend who brought dinner the other night. There's just so many people to say thank you to, and
Church that helped us get our van ready.
the church that helped us get our van ready, all the people who gave to help us on this trip. We are so truly grateful, because there's been so much that, like, we could not have done this without. It was a team effort, and I'm thankful, like, just all the things that I said to Rory the other day. It's neat to see even how God's helped each one of even my siblings, where Kristen's been able to help financially where we don't have the money to help financially, and Joseph's been able to help when you guys came to stay here and he was living here, and then, you know, with support and things like that, like when we were able to come in California to help the move, and then here. So each one of us have been able to help with a piece of it. So it's just, I'm thankful because we live by faith, and because we do ministry by faith, we don't always have the money to go and do things. So we're just so thankful for those who helped support this so that we could be a part of blessing you, because I've been having a hard time the last 4 years. People know that I've met with, know that I can't talk about it. I'll cry because I wanted so badly to come help. And I had to just shut down my emotion at times because it was too much. So I'm just really grateful that we could come and be with you guys and help you. And well, it's part of our job, right? The Bible speaks of this. The Bible says that it's really important for us to care for our parents. And
So Dana, what do you see as being something that we can look and say, see what God has done, and what do you see how God ministered to the need that you had for supply to come down here, the need that mom and dad had for help, and in each way, depending on what each person was needing, God helped them out relevantly to them. And how does that, what would you say to someone who is maybe having a hard time believing God for the help that they need, based off of your experience you've had for the past 2 months? What would you share with a person about how God knows exactly the help that they need and how they need it and when they need it?
yeah,
How would you encourage someone listening?
Well, 100%. I would say you have to go to God and trust Him and know that if He wants you to do what you're feeling in your heart you're supposed to do, then you need to go to Him and trust Him, because He will do it if it's His desire for your life. But you have to trust and wait. There was for about, I think it was last winter, it was like a year ago, we started to feel like we were supposed to come and do this. And it was a timing thing. It was all timing. And I had to trust that God's timing was perfect. But I knew He started to stir in my heart. He started to stir in Rory's heart. And we hadn't even told my mom yet at that point, because we weren't sure how it was going to all look. In fact, at one point we wanted to just kind of make it, if it was going to happen, just come and knock on your door and surprise you. But we realized that probably wasn't a good idea, just logistically. And so God's God started to show and reveal at the right times of when and how and provision. And so if you have a desire to do something that God's put on your heart, then trust Him. Keep seeking Him. Get into a place of intimacy with Him, because it's in the intimacy that you will find the answers and that you will hear from Him and what He wants you to do and to show you the pieces of the puzzle that need to come together. But so anyways, so Mom, thanks for taking this time for us to interview you a little bit and hear from you. Thanks for sharing with us, and thanks for allowing us to come and love you in this way, because it's been a great, great honor to do this. So we love you.
I love you too. And I especially love that I got to build a deeper relationship with my grandchildren.
Yes, that was the other thing, that your favorite memory.
Interacting with them on an adult-to-adult level has been really fun, and then watching Benji just love on Papa. In fact, tonight in the nursing home, Papa and Benji drew out plans for the fort they're going to build one day. Maybe that fort will be built in heaven.
Yeah, that's so neat.
Except Benji put in cells for the bad people that might come into the fort, so I don't think those would be needed in heaven.
Yeah.
There might be another kind of fort.
Yes. Yeah, that is so beautiful. So I just want to say that you are a blessing, and Jesus is the point.